It's good to be young. Thank you, President Kyle and the Board of Visitors, for allowing me the privilege of joining you here today, and I certainly appreciate the warm welcome. It's always good to be back at my alma mater, and it is an honor to offer my sincerest congratulations on the remarkable successes that each of you has accomplished. It was only a short time ago, 7 years to be exact, that I first sat on the same field receiving my bachelor's, and then again 2 years later, my master's. And what a whirlwind it has been since that time. I'm also happy to be here with your family, your friends, and your professors, and offering my sincerest congratulations to them as well. This is your day too, and none of it would have been possible without your continuing love, support, and encouragement to each of these fine young men and women. When President Kyle called me back in March and asked her if I could do her a favor, I was not expecting this. Quite frankly, I didn't know what to expect. The General Assembly wasn't in session, so I knew she wasn't going to be asking for money. At least not yet. However, when she did ask me to keynote, I was floored and very happily accepted without even checking my schedule. Once I hung up the phone, though, reality set in, what to say and how to say it. I have to admit, even though it was 7 years ago, I could not tell you who my commencement speaker was. And I certainly do not want to end up another casualty on the long list of commencement speakers, and I began planning my thoughts out. So, for the next 45 minutes, here we go. I'm in elected office, come on. As I look out across the lawn here at our graduates, I am optimistic about our future. Today, we honor nearly 1,300 shining stars representing 80% of the Commonwealth of Virginia, 1/2 of the United States, and 9 nations globally. Of our undergraduates, almost 1/4 are a first-time generation college student, further demonstrating the support and encouragement of your family, but the importance of education in our global economy. But I am most delighted that you chose Radford University as your alma mater. I have been and always will be a proud Highlander. Some of my fondest memories were spent on this campus under the learning of the extraordinary professors in the Criminal Justice Department. And much of what I have accomplished since that time I owe to them. Under the leadership of President Kyle, RU has flourished and has consistently been ranked Princeton Review's list of top colleges and universities in the nation. And while you may be leaving campus later today, I hope it will not be your last, and I implore you to give back in whatever way possible to a university that is so richly given to you. Your graduation here means that each of you has excelled and attained a high level in the classroom. And as soon-to-be alumni of Radford, I hope that all of you will maintain a lifelong commitment to the lessons you learned here, but also 4 values that I put above all else: scholarship, character, leadership, and service. First, scholarship. In this rapidly changing and highly competitive environment, one must always be ready and able to adapt and innovate and improve. That's the reality of the 21st century we're in now. The challenge which is set before you, you've already proved. By being here today, you have shown that you place a high value on learning, which is the gateway that opens wide the doors of opportunity. At the time of our nation's founding, Thomas Jefferson, a great scholar, leader, and Virginian, articulated the requirements for a sound education to include the importance of calculation, writing, reading, history, and geography. But he also emphasized that we must instruct people in their rights, interests, and duties as citizens. Mr. Jefferson recognized that education should aim at improving not only one's faculties, but also morals. I agree. Likewise, I believe you understand the ultimate goal of your education is not only to improve scholastically, but also, and more importantly, to develop your intellectual and moral character, not only to the betterment of yourself, but the betterment of the world around you. Inside the classroom, you have ably demonstrated your commitment to individual learning and academic scholarship. But just as important, each of you has made a significant impact outside of the classroom with your active participation in athletics, the arts, student government, community service, religious organizations, and no doubt much, much more. I am confident that the rigorous, well-rounded education that you have received at RU has prepared you to face and conquer life's many challenges and opportunities. I am optimistic in your current abilities and future growth, not only because of your personal commitment to scholarship, but also because you are surrounded by caring parents, talented professors, and loved ones who are committed to nurturing your mind, your body, and your soul. It is obvious that we are a diverse people, but we like to think of ourselves as recently diverse. However, the truth is, America has always been a land of diverse people. Despite any difference, though, there are certain unchanging values that all of us as citizens share, including honesty, fairness, self-discipline, responsibility, generosity, and many more. Without these and other fundamental rights of good character, an education can prove to be hollow, uninspired, and ultimately worthless. Your being here today indicates to me that you are clearly charting the correct path toward a bright future, and in the process, you are acquiring the reason and perspective and moral judgment needed to successfully navigate the incredible journey that is life. I believe in the singular importance of good character. In the House of Delegates, we deal with numerous difficult topics. Many are painful and controversial, which have challenged my own personal moral compass. But despite these differences, we all respect one another in the House and believe that the kind of people we are and how we treat one another is as important as the bills we pass and the laws that we make. Unfortunately, though, the world today, more often than not, seems to place an emphasis on the less important things in life: fame, popularity, selfishness, material possessions, and power for its own sake. I ask you to rise above these misguided and misplaced callings. History has taught us that an individual character is the great enduring hope for the future of a civil society and a free nation. Consider leadership. True leadership comes from a combination of scholarship, good character, and a drive for service. Never place yourself before others, and you will become a leader among men and women. Leadership is often a subtle power, hard to define, yet easy to recognize with two important elements: confidence and trust. Followers must have confidence in their leader's ability, and they must have trust in their leader's character and ethics. Leadership is about influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation while operating to accomplish the mission and improving the organization. Most importantly, though, leadership is about leading, and I don't know how to make it any clearer than that. To be a leader, you have to be willing to make the tough choices, popular or not. Theodore Roosevelt put it very succinctly when he said, "In any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing, and the worst thing you can do is nothing." To do the right thing, though, requires a willingness for all parties to work together, whether it be Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, Tea Party, Greens. We have to work together if we are going to move Virginia and our nation forward. To work together, though, requires compromise, something that is often unheard of in today's political system. In a true compromise, everyone gets something they like, and everyone gets something they don't like. In speaking about the events leading up to the American Civil War, Shelby Foote, a noted historian, said, "It was because that we failed to do the thing we really have a genius for, which is compromise." Americans like to think of themselves as uncompromising. Our true genius is for compromise. Our whole government is founded on it, and it failed. And remember that while we may have a difference in opinions, that does not necessarily mean that we have a difference in principles. And lastly, service. To whom much is given, much is expected. Giving back to the community, pursuing issues and causes that you care about, and using your talents to help others is the obligation of those with considerable intellect and character. Ultimately, we are all called to a life of service. Those who are imbued with extraordinary gifts like yourselves are called to extraordinary service. I was inspired to serve our Commonwealth by my family's long and distinguished commitment to public service through the military, and I am descended from many generations that were called to serve their country. Since the early years of American history, members of my family have served in the American Revolution, the War of 1812, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. But unlike the heroes of my past, I felt my unique gifts could be used in the service in the House of Delegates. I have a specific passion and concern for the well-being of my fellow man. There's a phrase that embodies my underlying motivation for not only my serving in the House, but defines who I am as a person. And it's very simple. I heart helping people. As you continue to grow as young adults, seek to understand your specific passion and concern. Find it, develop it, and work like heck for it. Pursue an understanding of how your unique talents can be used to serve your community, your Commonwealth, and your nation. And always remember, duty first, self second. I want to close by urging you to remain steadfast in your drive to better your community, your families, as well as your state and your country, but also yourself. And I also want to provide you two of my favorite quotes to carry with you as you begin this next chapter in your life. The first is by the 30th President of the United States, Calvin Coolidge. President Coolidge is often underrated as a president, and history has dismissed him as being passive and quiet, earning him the nickname Silent Cal. But unbeknownst to many, some of America's greatest successes were accomplished during his term and half in office. The nation was electrified, Americans drove their first cars, aviation was advanced, and the federal deficit was replaced with a surplus. Overcoming a life full of private tragedies, Coolidge said, "If you see 10 troubles coming down the road, you can be sure that 9 will run in the ditch before they reach you." Now you can take that one or two ways. Don't sweat the small stuff. But also the point is, in your life, at least once, you will stumble, you will fall, and you will fail. But don't lose heart, and don't give up. The trials and tribulations will make you better, and you'll get it right the next time. The next quote comes from Howard Thurman, an American author, educator, and civil rights activist. He said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because what the world needs are people who have come alive." Whether your passion is athletics, art, history, politics, English, science, or math, Thurman's quote is about excellence. Incorporate into your everyday life the admirable traits of scholarship, character, leadership, and service. These are the abiding values that lead to true fulfillment and success. In my life, I have learned that people usually do not regret what they did, but the opportunities they may not have pursued. So go, seek out and pursue life's boundless opportunities. Do what you can with what you have and where you are. And if you do, then I guarantee your own life and that of others will be far richer and better for it. And may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. And may the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Virginia. And God bless the United States.